Hello and welcome to the stream slash YouTube video, depending on if and when you watch this video content. Assuming I can get my camera to sit straight on my monitor. So, it's been a minute since we've had an opportunity to do this. Last time I just did it in strictly recorded YouTube format. So now this time around, Deuce is going to interrupt me as per usual. Seriously, buddy? You're just going to do this? This is the thing? We're doing this? Alright, so cat now less distracting, hopefully. The plan here will be, I have 2 boxes of the newest set, Chilling Reign. It's loaded with really, really good cards and really, really strong Pokemon, which I think is going to be very nice, especially as we now have news that Pokemon is going to have the 21/22 championship season. Even though they don't have all the fine details ironed out just yet, we do know we will have Pokemon events here in the future, which is exciting, which means if you're like me, it's probably time to start getting back into the swing of things, especially with the rotation coming up here in a couple of months. So we're going to be all Sword and Shield on. No better time than like the present to get rolling into business. That being said, like I said, 2 boxes. At least 2 boxes this time. I got 2 more on the way. They will be here when they get here. All thanks to the handy-dandy U.S. postal system. My understanding of this set, from what I've seen, is that both Calyrexes are very, very nice cards, and that the some of the trainers are really, really nice as well. So we're going to get into it. Deuce is hopefully going to behave. You're going to behave this time? Are you going to behave? I guess we don't know. We'll find out with how he wants to behave or not here in a bit. So without further ado, looks like we've got 4 artworks as per usual. Both Calyrexes, and then Galarian Zapdos and Galarian Articuno. Yeah, it does not look like they gave Moltres one this time around. Alright, so pack numero uno. Green code. Hold on. Too much light. Which light is giving me the trouble? Could be this one. That's better. See the magic of having access to your light bulbs. Crabrawler, Snorunt, Weedle, Castform. If you have 8 or more stadiums in your discard pile, ignore all energy in this Pokemon's attack cost. Interesting. Do you want on my lap or not? Quillfish. This Pokemon is in the active spot and is knocked out by damage from an attack of your opponent's Pokemon. Put 6 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. Huh. That'll be interesting in a hit and run deck, wouldn't you think? We then got a Sobble, Haunter, Flannery, Crabominable, which not particularly exciting, and then Spiritomb for the rare. And Spiritombs are always interesting cards. For each Pokemon in your opponent's discard pile, put 1 damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. If you place damage counters in this way, your opponent shuffles all Pokemon from their discard pile into their deck. For each Pokemon in your opponent's discard pile, put a damage counter on the board any way you want. And then shuffle all those Pokemon back in. Okay. That's interesting. That seems like a personal attack to expanded decks like Night March and Lost March and things like that. Turn off the logo for right now. Don't bite my foot. Come on, cat. The kitty does not like it when he is not the one being talked to. We got a white code card this time around. Alright. Shuppet. Different cast form with the same ability. Okay, so they're treating cast form in this set like Rotom got treated there in the Sun and Moon block with the... If you have all the tools in your discard pile, you can ignore the attack costs. A Ghastly. Don't do it, Deuce. Cubfu. Hatena. Another Flannery, which I didn't go over the Flannery. Discard a special energy from one of your opponent's Pokemon and discard a Stadium. So it's kind of like, what was that card? Not Zycor. Zycor's the mythic third son of Goku. Oh, it's something with an X who's from Phantom Forces. There's a supporter who's a Team Flare guy, but he could discard either a special energy or a Stadium card in play, or something to that effect. No. Regardless, we move onward. Rugged Helmet. A tool card, if the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, even if it's knocked out, put an energy attached to the attacking Pokemon back into your opponent's hand. Interesting. We got a reverse foil Crushing Gloves. The attacks of this Pokemon, the Pokemon this card is attached to, do 30 more damage to your opponent's active metal Pokemon. Interesting little steel hatred there. And then another Crabominable. And we also pick up a Tapu Fini as our rare. It's a Rapid Strike. Has a hit and run attack for 1 energy. Or you can double watercolors for 120 and you get to recycle one of the energies back into your hand. So I don't think that's particularly strong. I'd like to welcome anybody who's watching currently on Twitch. I know it's been a minute since we've been on. But now that things are getting back to normal in the world of Pokemon, things will get back to normal in the world of Orange Dragon Gaming as well. At least in theory. It all kind of depends on how life decides to situate itself. Snorunt, Weedle, Castform, Quillish. Can I get some different ones? Ralts. Dynatree Hill, that's in Stadium. Pokemon can't be healed. Interesting. Steenie, not so interesting. Karen's Conviction. During this turn, your single strikes Pokemon's attacks do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon for each prize card your opponent has taken. Okay, so that's like Iris on steroids, if you remember Iris from back in the black and white days. We got a reverse foil Raboot, and then we got a full art Avery. So Avery, draw 3 cards. If you drew any cards in this way, your opponent discards Pokemon from their bench until they have 3. Ooh, that's fun. A little combo disruption / draw support, which those cards don't always work out as well as you would like them to. But plenty of times they're at least decent enough to maintain play. And if you hear rustling, that's just the cat enjoying the plastic. He got a little bit of catnip earlier. He can't help himself. Isn't that right, buddy? Here's some more plastic. Green code. Alright. I've only opened 3 or 4 packs here. And I've now seen this Castform and Quillfish and Weedle and Snorunt too many times. I have a hard time believing there's only like 9 commons in this set. So we get to the uncommons. Old Cemetery. Whenever any player attaches an energy card from their hand to one of their non-psychic Pokemon, you put 2 damage counters on it. That's interesting. That can be disruptive. We got another Flannery, which we've gone over. And then we got an Agatha. Move up to 3 damage counters from your active Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. Well, that's also a very interesting card. I don't know right offhand where that'll come into play, but that's going to be one of those cards that's going to see some play potentially somewhere down the line to fill in that gap of missing damage for that you're short in some way, shape, or form. We also got a reverse foil Melanie. You attach a water energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon V. If you do, draw 3 cards. I wonder why they're wording cards like that. It's like, do the thing, but if you do it, also do this. But the way that Pokemon is worded, you have to fulfill the first condition of any card in order for it to be effective. So you could just say, attach a water energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon V, then draw 3 cards from your deck. You could say that and be done. Malamar, Rapid Strike. So I did see some stuff on this card. It's pretty interesting. For a single Psychic Energy, you do 40 times per Rapid Strike card you have in your hand. So any card, has got a little Rapid Strike tag there in the corner. But you shuffle all those cards back into your deck. So you need an engine within your deck that will allow you to constantly refill your hand with these Rapid Strike cards. Deuce, I'm glad you're having fun, buddy. So that's potentially a really, really fun, budget-based, I would imagine, single prize deck that's going to give some other decks some trouble here. That's going to be one of those decks. It's never going to be the best deck, but it's going to be that deck that annoys the crap out of anybody who plays against it because it has the ability to win at any time. It's one of those decks that can steal a match that should have no business even being in. So green code. Hey, there are different commons in this set. Check that out. A Spheal, a Firecast form, and a Heracross. What's up with that? Don't do it. Don't do it, Deuce. I don't know what it is. You want to bite when you're not being talked to. It's funny, though. And then we got a Ralton, a Quillfish. Fire-resistant gloves. The attacks of the Pokemon this card is attached to do 30 more damage to your opponent's active fire Pokemon. Peonia. Put 3 prize cards in your hand. Then for each prize card you put back in your hand in this way, put a card from your hand face down as a prize card. That can be handy for when you have a card in your hand you don't need right now, but you don't want to necessarily have it put away by your opponent from some sort of hand disruption effect or something like that. I can see that being potentially useful. That'll be something that'll be big for control decks. That is in control decks. I don't even know the metagame right now to know. That's going in control decks. We got a Celio, Deuce. You don't have to interrupt. Then we got a Blitzel, which is a Blitzel, for lack of a better term, and a Slurpuff. Let's see here. Slurpuff, flip 3 coins. Put a number of cards equal to the number of heads from your discard pile into your hand. Yeah, alright. And coin flips, not a fan. Avoid them like the plague, if and all possible. Coin flips are inconsistent, and the game is already inconsistent enough. Can you? Buddy, I need you to make up your mind one way or the other here. White code card. Expedition Uniform. Look at the bottom 3 cards of your deck and put them on top of your deck in any order. Again, that's another card I see for control. Especially if a Rangaroo continues to not be banned in certain formats. Deuce, no. I don't know what your deal is right now, Cat. I don't want to deal with it. Okay? But I can see Expedition Uniform being useful for control decks. This is the Rangaroo. You put 3 cards on the bottom of your deck in the order you want them to go. And then you can use that to put them back on top if you need them right away. We got another Melanie. Single Strike Scroll of Piercing attached to a Single Strike Pokemon. They gain this new attack. Bullet Breakthrough for Fire, double colorless, does 120, and it's not affected by weakness or resistance or any other effects. Pretty solid in that regard. We got another Steenie. And then we got our first Pokemon V of the box. Blaziken V, whichever way you want to pronounce it. I'm not sure which is the right way or the wrong way. Buddy. Why are you so grumpy? Blaziken V. Does 50 for double colorless, does 210 for double fire, double colorless, discarding 2 fire energies. I think there's a Blaziken VMAX in this set. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Blaziken VMAX is a really, really solid card, because Pokemon does their fan service with their Fire-type starters, Final Evolutions. I think you need to sit up here, because you're just sitting down there and meowing and yelling and being very disruptive. This is one of those times I wish you understood the English language just a little bit better than you do currently, my cat. You are my favorite cat. You are my dude. But sometimes you're a little extra, and you know it. Alright, so we got a green code. Nothing too spectacular there. We got a Kakuna. Woohoo, not. Porygon 2, which means there's a Porygon Z, and that'll have a very interesting effect. Wedding gloves. Weeding gloves. Reading is hard. So wedding gloves. Did it again. Oh. Weeding gloves. So there's a theme here. This one does 30 more damage to grass Pokemon. We got a Clobbopus, which is one of my favorite Pokemon from Generation 8. It's just like, it's this little octopus with these little boxing gloves. It's awesome. And then we got a Serena. Tsarina. Not sure how it's pronounced. Tread on. So it's a retreat-based attack. Does 50 more for each star in the opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. And Solar Beam for a relatively cheap cost and relatively light damage. I don't see it being overly playable. Hope everybody's having a good time wherever in the world you are watching from. Got another green code. Crabominable. Honey is new. Draw a card for each of your opponent's bench. Pokemon V. Okay. Spiral Energy. It's a Rapid Strike card. It can only be attached to Rapid Strike Pokemon. If it's attached to something else, discard it. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides every type of energy, but only one at a time. The Pokemon this card is attached to cannot be paralyzed, even if it's already. But if it's already paralyzed, it's recovered from that condition. Okay. That seems good. Bounsweet. And Aggron. One of my favorite Generation 3 Pokemon. Not all that exciting. You do 100 damage and you take 30 less, or you do 240 and deal 30 damage to all of your Pokemon. So I'm not a fan of damaging your own Pokemon unless you have a very specific strategy in mind, or it's like an old Alakazam damage swap deck from way back in the day, in which case you didn't really care, because then you just use Pokemon Center, wipe all your damage off the board, your opponent would cry, and then you would just overrun them. Green code. Steenie. Got another Dynatree Hill. Another Spiral Energy. A Scorbunny. And then a Cantonian Weezing. That does Confusion and attaching a Dark Energy to this Pokemon. And then you can do 20 plus 20 for each Dark Energy attached to all of your Pokemon. I mean, it's cheap. It's cheap. It's a Stage 1 Pokemon, so it's easy enough to deploy. As you can see, the attack doing good damage for a pretty low cost. Factor that into, I don't know if you'd ever need it, but you could theoretically see yourself, or see it falling into an Eternatus deck. And then you kind of using that to mop up some stuff on the cheap. Got another green code. Hetrem, Flaffy, Kakuna, a Cubfu, and a Banette. This Banette is single strike. You can put 7 damage counters on this Pokemon and then do 20 damage for each damage counter you put on it. Or you can do Confusion for 50 damage. I'm not a big fan of that, especially because it only has 80 HP. If it had like 130 HP, I'd probably like it a little bit more. But that's really light HP for a Stage 1 Pokemon. Now, onto a white code card this time. Commons. Another Peony. Or, sorry, Peony's new. We had Peonia. We have not had Peony. Discard your hand and search your deck for 2 trainer cards, reveal them, put them in your hand, and then shuffle your deck. I like that. That can go into play for a lot of different decks. That's pretty solid card. Another fire-resistant glove. Larion. We got double rare actually in this set. So Passimian, I got a Passimian, but there's a lot of small words on here. Your Rapid Strike Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's benched Pokemon V and benched Pokemon GX. You cannot apply more than 1 throwing coach ability at a time. So extra spread damage from Rapid Strikes. Interesting. Alright, and then we also got Galarian Slowking. Once during your turn, you may choose one of your Pokemon and flip a coin. If heads, heal 90 damage from that Pokemon. If tails, put 3 damage counters on that Pokemon. Ooh. Again with the coin flips. I don't know about that. Although I will say, I like the artwork on it. If I can get that to... It's good artwork on that. I like that. Let the camera focus again. White code card. Hey! Different comments. Look at that. We got a Drizzile. Not too exciting there. Another Melanie. We got Seabold. I honestly don't remember him. I don't know where he came from. I'm drawing a complete blank here. Yeah, I got nothing on Seabold. Choose up to 2 of your Rapid Strike Pokemon and heal 60 damage from each of them. We got a reverse cast form, and then we got a Porygon Z. And like I thought, it would have an interesting ability. Whenever you attach an energy from your hand to this Pokemon during your turn, you may make your opponent's active Pokemon confused. That's interesting. If you play that in a deck where it allows you to maneuver energy, you get free confusion. Which is kind of cool. Especially if you're playing a deck that doesn't one-shot things and you're constantly working to two-shot things. That would be handy to have that in there, assuming it fit. So that would be something I would be concerned with, because fitting a stage 2 in a deck generally not the best use of your deck space. Alright, got a new one here, Lucky Energy. Lucky Energy, as long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, provides colorless energy. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, draw a card. Okay. Again, that screams control deck to me. Yeah. Another Peony, and then Caitlin. You can put any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck in any order, then draw equal to the number of cards you put on the bottom of your deck. That just seems functional. You need hand refresh, but you don't want to discard because you're going to need, you got a rare candy and a stage 2, but you don't have the basic. I can see that being useful. We got a Fog Crystal. Is a reverse. Search your deck for a Psychic Energy card or a basic Psychic Pokemon. Put in your hand. Shuffle your deck. Seems good. We also got an Abomasnow. Your single strike Pokemon in play, except Abomasnow, gets plus 50 HP. You cannot apply more than 1 toughness boost ability at a time. That seems solid. I would be willing to bet you that 50 HP throws off more than enough math to make it worth a spot in a deck. Because you wouldn't play a heavy line of it. You'd probably just play a 1-1 Snover Abomasnow. And then you're probably already playing cards to specifically search out your single strikes. So I would think that would be a pretty solid way to throw off some math. Green code. Seems like we're kind of light so far. But then again, also last time for battle styles, it seemed like I hit all the ultras quick in the box, and that was just kind of like the rest of it. We got another Scroll of Piercing. We got another Karen's Conviction, and then we got Echoing Horn, which is a reprint of Target Whistle. Put a basic Pokemon from your opponent's discard pile under their bench. So that was a very useful tech card in a lot of situations back in the day, back in the XY days. We got another Spiral Energy, but this time as a reverse. And we got a Volcarona, which is really bland. That's the one thing I will say about Pokemon is that when they don't want you to play a card, they make sure that the card sucks. Which I think is boring. Granted, there's probably a balance thing that they got to keep in mind, and that I know for a fact that they constantly test these things out 6 to 9 months in advance to make sure of things, and they try to find all the broken combos before we do. So green code again. So we got a Raboot, another Agatha. We got a Welcoming Lantern. Put a single strike supporter card from your discard pile into your hand. So it's VS Seeker for single strike supporters. We got Doctor. Draw 2 cards. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a VMAX Pokemon, draw 2 more cards. Interesting. Scolipede. Not so interesting, although you can hit for 220 if the opponent's active Pokemon's poisoned for a pretty cheap cost. But it's a stage 2, so I don't see that seeing a ton of play. Even though Scolipede is one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 5. Just because it was like one of those bug Pokemon that, like, when it evolved, it didn't completely suck. Like, instantaneously. Looking at you, Butterfree, Beedrill, Beautifly, Dustox. Some commons. We got a Peony, we got a Caitlyn. We have a new card to me, Galarian Chestplate. If the Pokemon this card is attached to has Galarian in its name, it takes 30 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. Okay. I get on board with that. We got a Seviper. Dark, colorless, 90 plus 90 if you played a single strike supporter card from your hand during this turn. Interesting. The attack cost is probably problematic. But who knows? And then we got an Ampharos as well. The second attack reads 90 plus. Your opponent reveals their hand. If you find any energy cards there, you do 90 more damage. That's not bad for a cheap cost. But again, stage 2 attackers are tricky, especially in this game where we're having things that can knock out and the ability to pick off the bench so easily. It seems to me like it'd be problematic to have. Okay, white code card. Maybe we got something this time around. Got a Welcoming Lantern, a Ledian, Clara, that's a new one. Choose one or both. Oh boy. Put up to 2 Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand, or put up to 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile back in your hand. So Clara is a very... It's Super Rod in supporter form, but into your hand instead of your deck. That's the upgraded benefit for the added cost. The benefit being it goes into your hand, the cost being it's a supporter and not an item. So that's an interesting card. We got a Whirlipede as a reverse. Nice looking artwork. And we got a Sandaconda V. 220 HP, Wall of Sand ability, where it takes 30 less damage from attacks after weakness and resistance. It does 140 damage for a cost of double fight and single colorless. I kind of hope there's a VMAX because that's a little underwhelming. It doesn't have a resistance. It's weak to grass. Grass types are pretty solid right now. I'm not too sure about that one for what that is. You know, I'm actually gonna slide this guy over here a little more. There we go. I think that might work better for the remainder of this. So it's not so far away. Green code. got a Thwackey, another Fog Crystal, and Avery. Basic energy we don't really care about. Another Ampharos, and then we got a Galarian Weezing. So that's interesting that they print both the Cantonian and the Galarian forms within the same set. The Galarian Weezing, for each basic dark energy attached to your Pokemon that have Weezing in their name, it provides double dark energy. You cannot apply more than one energy factory ability at a time. So that's one thing I also noticed here. You cannot apply more than one of this ability at a time, which is fine because obviously these abilities are really nice. Anything that multiplies energy is really nice. Anything that adds maximum HP is really nice. Anything that adds more than 20 damage is really, really nice. So that's an interesting thing that ties back into the Weezing that we had earlier, where it did 20 plus 20 for each dark energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So if you had 5 dark energy attached to 5 Weezings, which I don't think is physically possible, but let's just work with this here. So you have 5 energies on the board. That is now an attack for 10 energies. So you're doing 20 plus 200 for 220. That's pretty solid. So who knows? Maybe that is something to work. And then you got the Galarian Moltres, which digs out a dark energy out of the discard pile. So that could be pretty darn solid in there as well. I think the Moltres' attack isn't particularly good. It's the ability that you want on it. Hopefully we find one I can, double check myself as opposed to trying to do it in the middle of a stream. Honey, Peony, Ledian. We got a Mareep. And we got Galarian Surfetched, which artwork looks sweet. I'll hold it up here. Too close? Come on, camera, focus. Okay. Anyway, it reads for Leech Strike, the second attack. Fighting double colorless 70 plus. If this Pokemon has a tool attached to it, does 90 more damage and not affected by resistance. So that's pretty potent. Especially if we go into a very tool-heavy meta where we have tools for all kinds of situations and all things going on. All manner of things that can be going on at a time during a match. Green code. Kakuna. Hattrem. This card. I've been hearing, reading, seeing things about this card. Path to the Peak. It is a stadium. Pokemon with a rule box in play have no abilities. Holy crap, that is huge. You're talking, it shuts off Calyrex, Shadow Rider Calyrex, which hopefully we'll pull one and we'll be able to talk about it in depth. Like you can attach an extra psychic energy in a turn, and you get to draw cards. You shut that off, you can kind of cripple that deck in a hurry. Zacian V has no ability at that point in time. Zamazenta V, you can attack right through that, through its ability. Those are just things that the first couple things that come to mind. That's potent. It's extremely potent. We got a Delibird, which we're not... Delibird's Delibird. And then we also got a Rapid Strike Zangoose. Has an attack that does 50 damage for triple colorless, so I'm not a fan right there. If you played a Rapid Strike supporter card from your hand during this turn, this attack also does 50 damage to your opponent's bench Pokemon. I like that a little better. So go with a Rapid Strike supporter, 50, 50, 50 snipe. So it's 50 active, 52 snipe to the bench, or 2 times 50 bench snipe. Yeah, okay. That card became alright in the right deck and situation, of course. That probably would actually work decently with that Malamar to help finish some stuff off. Green code. Couple different cast forms. And we got a Walrein as the rare. Alright, Hail Prison for 2 water colorless, does 160. Discard 2 energy from the Pokemon. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Guaranteed paralysis is always a strong function in the PTCG. Always is. I'm not saying in particular that particular use of paralysis is very good, because stage 2 attackers are not great generally. They're few and far between. And paralysis is good always. White code card this time around. I got a Brawly. Brawly, you search your deck for 3 basic Rapid Strike Pokemon, put them on your bench. So it's Bridget for Rapid Strike Pokemon. I don't mind that. We got Galarian Runerigus, which has a lot of words on it. Spiteful Slate, it says. Spiteful Slate. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon VMAX, even if this Pokemon's knocked out, put damage counters on the attacking Pokemon equal to the damage done to this Pokemon. So that'd be another one where potentially I could see that one being utilized in a hit and run style of deck, that against a deck that plays heavy VMAXs. Because if that's in the right situation and that thing gets smacked for 250 damage and you've already taken 120 damage on your opponent's active VMAX, and they smash you and they destroy you, you get to destroy them back with the ability. So that's pretty darn solid if you get it to stick. And we also got a Zarude, which is the new mythical Pokemon. Let's see here. What do we got? For a grass, you search your deck for a grass Pokemon, put it in your hand. If you go second and it's turn 1, grab 3 grass Pokemon instead. Shuffle your deck. Deuce is returned. And then you just get 60 plus 20 for each grass energy attached to this Pokemon. That setup is, that's a nice attack for a setup. You don't get too many good, setup attacks like that. White code card. So we got a Steenie and a Larion. We got another Rugged Helmet. Got a Weedle. Then we hit a Galarian Zapdos V. Has a really nice ability, Fighting Instinct. This Pokemon's attacks cost colorless less for each of your opponent's Pokemon V in play. So you're probably going to run into a lot of situations where you're attacking for the 1 fighting energy in that cost of fighting triple colorless. And then its attack does 170 damage, and before you to calculate damage, you discard a special energy card attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So that's another one of those really nice cards that I can see fitting in a number of different roles in a number of different decks. That's one of those cards that, quite frankly, if you play what's our current rainbow situation, Aurora. If you play Aurora Energy, I can really see that being a nice tech card in a lot of decks, because there's going to be a lot of decks that are playing 3, 4, 5 Pokemon V at any given time. And keep in mind, VMAXs are still Vs. Got a green code this time. Abominable Doctor, another Rugged Helmet. We got a Rillaboom, which attack number 2 for grass, double grass, single colorless, 120 plus 30 for each energy you discard from the Rillaboom. So that kind of pairs with the Sword and Shield base Rillaboom, which allows you to attach 2 grass energy straight from your deck. And then we got a Zebstrika. First attack is interesting. If one of your other Rapid Strike Pokemon used an attack during your last turn, this attack does 90 more damage. So if you combo that correctly, you can do 120 damage for a single colorless energy. Not bad. If that's the case, that you choose to run such a deck, that's a pretty efficient cost. Quick recovery. It looks like we're done with a little more than half the box at this time. Green code. Nothing too exciting there. Another green code. Getting concerned. Alright, so there's another set of gloves apparently in this set. Justified gloves. And you're doing 30 more damage to dark Pokemon this time around. And we got another Walrein and another Echoing Horn. So I guess we're getting variety. What we got left? We got 10 packs left. So yeah, we're more than half done here. Green code card. So we got another Old Cemetery. Cresselia is new. Crescent Glow. Search your deck for a Psychic Energy card attached to one of your Pokemon. If you go second, search your deck for 3 Psychic Energy cards and attach them to one of your Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. And then it's a second attack. If you have at least 5 energy in play, this attack does 90 more damage, so that can be 2 Psychic Energies for 120 damage. That's a nice little setup, too. And then we got another Abomasnow for our trouble. Cresselia is interesting. It seems like an easy one-up in Calyrex Shadow Rider, if you ask me. Green. We got a Grapple Oct. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent's active Pokemon tree cost is 2 more. And its attack does damage based on hand size. If you're equal to, you do 80 more damage. And we got a Dugtrio, which is Rapid Strike. We flip 3 coins. This does 60 damage for each heads. If they're all heads, during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from and the effective attacks done to this Pokemon. Alrighty then. That's a strong coin flip there. Hit triple heads. You're immune for a turn as long as you don't get moved. Huh, we got a white code card. Feels like it's been 84 years. So that's a new one here. Rapid Strike Scroll of the Skies. It can only be attached to Rapid Strike Pokemon to gain any effect. But the move is called Grav Drop at the cost of Lightning Colorless. It does 10 plus 50 for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. I tend to agree. That is kind of interesting. There's a lot of attacks that have been printed recently that depend on the energy attached to either yourself, all of your Pokemon, or all of your opponent's Pokemon. We got another Agatha and a Raboot, as well as a Clara. And then we got Gold Urn of Vitality, which, if you watch the Battle Styles video, we pulled quite a few of those. But you get to shuffle 2 single strike energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. But now we got it in gold. Some bling, if you will. Clearly, that's a word I say all the time with the correct emphasis. On to the next pack. Green code card. Dr. Haunter-Clara, Haunter, another Scolipede. Alright. Got 5 hits so far. Hoping for 2 more in here. Let's see how that goes. White code card. Thwackey, Avery in the regular form. Scroll of Piercing. Reverse Foil Water Cast form. And then we got a Hollow Runerigus as opposed to the reverse. White code card. Flannery, Kakuna, Porygon 2, Shuppet, and a Frostlass. That's new. Frost Over is the ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may attach a Water Energy card from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. Okay. Combo that with a little Scoop Up net action, and you got yourself a continual recycling of your Water Energies. The attack does 90, and then the Frostlass can't attack. So, it's not printed for its attack, let's put it that way. That's what Pokemon's telling you when they do that. Echoing Horn, Karen's Conviction, Kakuna, Porygon 2, and then a non-reverse of the Passimian from earlier with the bonus damage to benched Rulebox Pokemon effectively. I wish they'd have said Rulebox, because then it can include EXs, and then you get Shenanigans and Expanded. But I digress. We will never ever get everything we want out of Pokemon. As unfortunate as that is. Got some commons. Got a Caitlyn, Galarian Chestplate, another Lucky Energy, Reverse Cast Form, and another Zebstrika. That goes there, that goes there, that goes there. Those go there. 2 packs left. There we go. White code card. Nothing all that great there. Got another Path to the Peak. Thwacky. And then we got a full art Brawly. Pretty sweet looking. Like that. Alright, and then hopefully we get some last pack magic to get a 7th hit out of this box. White code card, so we're at least off to the right. White code card, you know. Got a chance. Impact Energy, single strike. And it can only be attached to single strikes. As long as this Pokemon is attached, as long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, provides every type of energy but only one at a time. The Pokemon can't be poisoned. If it's already poisoned, it recovers from that condition. We got Crushing Gloves for bonus steel damage. We got another Honey. We got Tapu Fini, which we've gone over earlier. And then we got a Gardevoir, which has the Shining Arcana ability. Once per turn, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Sorry, look at the top 2 cards of your deck and attach any number of basic energy cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like, and put the other cards into your hand. So it looks like it's a draw 2, but if you find energy, you can put them where you want to. I like it. Alrighty, so box numero uno. Netted us these bad boys here. 2 full arts, gold, and 3 Pokemon V. One of which we're very excited about. The other 2, not so much. But again, I think there's a VMAX for this, so there should be more to come for that. But we'll find out. We shall see. The night is still young. Put those there. And Deuce, may I ask you, why did you close the basement door? You now no longer have access to your food upstairs. You're just doing Deuce things? Is that what it is? Alrighty. Box 2. Start off with a white code card. Squavit. I think that might be the first Squavit I've seen. I haven't really been paying attention to the commons. Regardless, we got a... I'm not sure if this is an alternate art or full art Blissey V, but regardless, we got a Blissey V. 250 HP on a basic is pretty beefy. Natural Cure. Whenever you attach an energy card from your hand to this Pokemon, it recovers from all special conditions. The attack does 10 plus damage for 1 energy. This attack does 30 more damage for each energy card attached to this Pokemon. And if you did any damage with this attack, you may attach up to 3 energy cards from your discard pile to this Pokemon. Okay. It's a steamrolling attack. It's like a rollout in the games. You could just theoretically progressively do more and more damage with each passing turn, whilst only giving up 2 prizes and swinging for huge numbers. Got green code. Abominable, Rugged Helmet, Flannery. Cinderace is new. This Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon for each prize card your opponent has taken. And then your attack does 150 for fire colors, but you can't attack during your next turn. And we got a Malamar, which I've gone over before, which I went over. I like that Malamar. I think it's going to be fun. Alright. Pack number 3? Sure. Maybe 4. I think this is the 3rd. White code card. Ledian, Dr. Crabominable, Quillfish in reverse, another Runerigus. I think they're trying to tell me that I need to figure out a way to make Runerigus playable. And maybe that'll be one of my missions. Here is one of my exercises of getting my brain back into thinking about Pokemon, deck construction, all the good things that go into that aspect of the game. Green code card this time. Single Strike, or Rapid Strike Scroll Skies. We've got another one of those Energy Factory Galarian Weezings. Play like a 4-4 with a 2 Galarian Weezing line. That's not the right card. Green code. Peonia, Ledian, Doctor. Another Lapras. Another one of those Zangooses. One of those Rapid Strike Zangoose. Just like the mongoose to my snake. The snake to my mongoose. I don't know animals. White code card. Wacky, Peony, Galarian Chest Plate, Golurk. One of my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon. If this Pokemon has a tool on it, do 60 plus 90, or you do 190 and 30 damage to yourself. And then we got Shadow Rider, Calyrex VMAX, 320 HP. This thing is a monster. So its ability, once during your turn, you may attach a Psychic Energy card from your hand to one of your bench Psychic Pokemon. If you attach energy in this way, you may draw 2 cards. And its attack does 10 plus 30 for each Psychic Energy attached to all of your Pokemon for a low cost of triple colorless. This is very possibly the best card in the set, and there's not really much argument otherwise about it. The ability to attach extra energy, always good. Drawing extra cards, always good. Attaching energy and then getting to draw cards because of it, amazing. Attack, really, really strong, and allows you to spread your energy out so that way you're not putting it all in one spot for it to get wiped off of your board with an untimely knockout. That's freaking good. And just because the cat is in heaven right now, he has things to make noise with. He gets to do his cat stuff and his derpiness. Isn't that right, buddy? So you can all tell the cat is extremely stressed out and life is terrible. Alright. So I think we're good there. Yep. Having fun there, buddy? Need some more? Green code card. We got Drizzile, Honey, Peonia, Serena, and then a Kecleon. Kecleons are always interesting. This Pokemon is the same type of as any basic energy card attached to it. If it has 2 or more different types of basic energy attached, this Pokemon is each of those types. Okay. It's a little fill-in. It's a little fill-in Pokemon. You can make it whatever you need it to be based on whatever you have. And then, if memory serves me right, I think one of the special energies, the Rapid Strike special energy, is a rainbow? No, my mistake. It is not. It might be from the previous set. But that'd be interesting. The special because the special energy would allow you to attack. Oh wait, no, it's only for basic energies. Still, there's a way that's really nice. You're being cute. This is acceptable behavior while we're on camera doing things. Okay? And just look at this guy. He's having a ball right now. Aren't you, Deuce? You're allowed to talk now. No, you're not. Alright. So I'm done screwing around. Looks like green code card. Whirlipede, Brawly, Melanie. This Gallade is new. Let's see what it does. It's a fighting type, but its attack costs 60. Feint, it does 60 damage, not affected by resistance. Then Dynablade. This attack does 60 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon V in play for a double colorless. Now that's strong. Now that's a stage 2 attacker that can see play. Because the attack cost is low and the potential payoff is humongous. Now we got another Banette, which I'm not excited about. Cutie, he just caught that booster pack wrapper. Alright, we got a white code card this time. Kakuna, Path to the Peak, Caitlyn, Squavit, and Single Strike Urshifu. So Single Strike, as the name would imply. You can do Field Crush for 50 damage, discarding a Stadium, or Fists of Strife. If this Pokemon has any damage counters on it, this attack does 100 more damage for pretty cheap cost of Dark Colorless. It's a pretty solid amount of damage on a stage 1. So I can see that being viable, especially because it's in the Single Strike or Rapid Strike archetypes, or under the header of the Strike type Pokemon. I can see that being potentially useful. Got another white code here. Got Weeding Gloves, Karen's Conviction, Steenie, Hatena, and another Gardevoir. Which that Gardevoir is interesting. That's something I want to try to delve into. They always make to me, they make a lot of the really nice abilities on stage 2s just to try to make the evolution thing happen in the card game. But then they made the card game so darn fast that most of the time you can't afford to bust out a stage 2 into a deck. or busted out into a game. So it's kind of trying to have your cake and eat it too, Pokemon. If you want the Stage 2s to be useful, you print these cool things on them, you got to make the game able to play them. We got a Cybold, Whirlipede, and Melanie. Got another reverse Kubfu and another Scolipede. There's nothing super exciting there. Green code card. Got Rugged Helmet, Flannery, Porygon 2, Larvesta, and Slurpuff. Not the most inspiring booster pack there. White code card. Do we have our third hit of the box? Got Old Cemetery Expedition Uniform Larion. Reverse Ghastly to go with the non-reverse Ghastly. Then we got another Sandaconda V. As you can tell by the tone of my voice, I'm not particularly excited about Sandaconda V because I already got one. I like getting variety when I open my boxes. Although, still got most of this box to go, plus 2 more boxes that will be on their way here at some point in time in the hopefully very near future. We shall see how that works out. Green code. The Sawsbuck's new, and not particularly exciting or worth discussing. So onward to the next pack. Green code. So we got Steenie, Larion, Hetrem, Lapras, and another Galarian Surfetched. I know why they're named Galarian Surfetched, even though Surfetched only appears in the Galar region because of naming conventions on cards. We don't need it. We all know it's a Galarian form. It's only a Galarian Pokemon. We know this. But I know why they do it too. So green code. So we don't expect anything too crazy out of this. Brawly, Melanie, Cybold, a Wandering Lantern, and another one of those Spiritombs. With the 1 damage per Pokemon your opponent's discard pile, and force them to shuffle it all back in. So it's a Lost March counter. It's a Lost March. What's the new one? I don't know. There's something with the Mad Party. The Mad Party counter. We got a white code this time around. Krylia, Crushing Gloves, Rugged Helmet, Reverse Old Cemetery. And then we got ourselves the hyper rare of Avery, looking extra sparkly. Seems I'm a little out of focus here. Let's take a second here. So you had it. I think next time I'll switch. I'll put the really nice camera down low. Maybe I just get another one of these nice ones. Green code card. So we got another Avery, some more gloves, another one of those Golurks. Unfortunately, when we don't pull things, we don't get much to talk about. White code card. Flannery, Agatha, Krylia. Another one of single strike Urshifus. And then Galarian Moltres, which I alluded to earlier when we were talking about the Weezings. And it also, quite frankly, is just a match made in heaven for Eternatus. If you throw a Weavile or if you're playing Energy Switch in the deck. The ability reads, once during your turn, you may attach a Dark Energy card from your discard pile to this Pokemon. You cannot use more than one Dire Flame Wings ability per turn. And its attack does 190 damage, but doing 30 damage to itself at the cost of Dark Colorless. So that pairs up nicely with Dark decks, obviously, for the ability of putting energy on the board. And again, that would be something I would see pairs really, really well with Weavile as well as the card Energy Switch, assuming it's still legal in this current expansion. I'm going to let him go back upstairs. You can go upstairs, bud. But I know you're probably not going to now. Alright, so we're on to the next pack. Looks like we're getting to about halfway through the box. White code card. Cemetery, Dynatree Hill, Steenie, Reverse Justified Gloves, and a Tauros. It's a single strike. You do 20 plus 20 for each damage counter on the Tauros, and it's now and the Tauros is confused. Or for the same cost of double colorless, you do 80 and take 30. Not a fan. Like that card would have ruled back in the day. I'm talking back in the day. No. Now's no good. Okay, we got a white code card. Alright, got gloves, Krylia, Reverse Peony, and then a fourth Galarian Runerigus. I have to build something with it. That's all there is to it at this point in time. I've been giving 4 in 50-ish packs. I gotta do something with them. Not sure what yet, but I got to do something with it. It's very apparent. White code card. Larion, Peony, a Spiral Energy, and Ampharos. And oh, I didn't know that was in the set. Sandaconda VMAX. So it has 320 HP. First attack is 60 for a single fighting, and also does 20 to 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon. You don't apply weakness or resistance. And then G-Max Cyclone for fighting colors does 180 damage. And you move any amount of energy from your Pokemon to your other Pokemon in any way you like. Okay. I don't know where I see that. That's a nice effect. Especially because you get to do damage. I see that. I'm hitting. I'm not necessarily getting a knockout, but I'm expecting to get knocked out in return. So now I can play the game where I get to rearrange all my energy and get myself set up for my next attack as if I already had the energies attached. Could be interesting. Could be interesting. Green code card. Then we got Clara, Flaffy, Avery in the reverse, and Zebstrika. I like the supporters in this set. The items are kind of wonky with some of the stuff they printed, but it's still like one of those things that I can see what they're doing with it. They know some of the stuff's going to become overly powerful, so they printed some cards to help out, help try to maintain some amount of balance. Raboot, Welcoming Lantern, and Fire-Resistant Gloves, Weaving Gloves, and yet another Spiritomb. There's no deck to build around Spiritomb. Spiritomb is a tech. So I won't be building a deck around Spiritomb. At least not this Spiritomb. White code card. Haunter, Dr. Celio, Reverse Scorbunny, and we got Tornadus V. Single strike, 210 HP. First attack blow through does 20 plus 20 if there's a stadium in play. And then you also get Blasting Hammer. For quad colorless, you do 180 and you discard an energy from this Pokemon. Nice cheap 40 damage from blow through. I don't know how Blasting Hammer is going to be good, especially because you can't hit for weakness as a colorless type Pokemon in the TCG, as I'm aware at this time. I think the last time they did that was way back in the Diamond Pearl days. Which they definitely haven't done it that I'm aware of, or maybe I missed it, since Black and White. White code card this time around. We got Peony, Fog Crystal, Agatha versus Clobbopus, and another Gardevoir. I really like that Gardevoir. That's a really cool ability. Maybe I should read the attack one time. You're doing 60 plus 30 for each psychic energy attached to this Pokemon. Okay. Decent attack, not a great attack. It was like 90 plus 30. And I could swing 150 just for the cost. Actually, no, that'd be 180 for the cost. I'd probably be a little more on board. Ah, there we go. Alright, white code card this time around. It's commons. Karen's Conviction, Steenie, Dynatree Hill, Steenie, and that boring, not good Tauros. Alright, so now we'll do a quick count. 9 packs. Green code this time. There's the commons. The not so commons. The Beedrill is new. Persist Sting. For grass, if your opponent's active Pokemon has any special energy cards, it's a knocked out. Oh, dang. That's interesting. And then in second attack for grass, you can do 110, but you discard energy from the Beedrill. And we got another Golurk. Huh. That Beedrill is interesting. We're already at 7 hits for this box. So odds are we're not getting any more. But I have had crazier things happen to me. Green code. Honey Crushing Gloves, Whirlipede, Abomasnow, Aggron. Nothing too great there. White code card. Avery Honey Spiral Energy. Fog Crystal. That's new to us. Rapid Strike Inteleon. Its ability, once during your turn... Once during your turn, you may put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Okay. So it's a... Oh, that's a per turn. That's not an evolution. So that's not like the Golbats I'm used to, Golbat Crobat line I'm used to. So that's just every turn you get to do that, which is really, really nice. The only problem is the Sword and Shield Inteleon, when you evolve into it, you get to search your deck for like 2 item cards. That's really powerful too. So there's two really good Inteleons with abilities that are printed in the same format. We got a white code. Another Path to the Peak and an Impact Energy, Dynatree Hill, and then Metagross V. This card's looking sweet. It's a Rapid Strike, Bullet Punch, 20 plus 20, flip 2 coins, do 20 more for each heads. And then Synchro Hammer. For Metal Colors, you do 60 plus 90 if this Pokemon and your opponent's active Pokemon have the same number of energy cards attached. Okay. That card just looks sweet. The foil looks really, really nice on that too. Cool beans there. Cool beans. And then we got, this is the fifth to last pack. Another white code. Got another Impact Energy and Old Cemetery, a Surfetched, and then we scored another Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. Is that the same one as before? Yes, okay. So I didn't get a different artwork, but I did get another one of the, what I think is possibly the very best card in the set. So that's nice. It's a charge to the TCG player that I don't have to worry about later. Pretty pumped about that, not gonna lie. So you got some commons on a green code. Lucky Energy, Justified Gloves, Dynatree Hill, a Chest Plate, and a Sawsbuck. Yeah, I think all the packs are going to be disappointing at this point in time. We kind of hit a lot of nice stuff. 3 packs. Oh, 2 packs left. Green code card. There's some stuff. Echoing Horn, Thwackey, Porygon 2, a Venipede, and another one of those Gallades, which I really like that Gallade. I think the artwork on it's pretty nice too. Oh, I got cat hair on my face or something. Nah. Alright, and then it's the second to last pack. Green code. Agatha, Krylia, Cybold, Serena, and another one of those Slurpuffs, which I don't think should have been a rare. It's not particularly good, but you know, I'm not in charge of that stuff. And that's probably for the best. Last pack magic. Let's see what we got. It's a white code card. Yeah, Scroll of the Skies, Raboot, Porygon 2, and Inteleon, and a Rillaboom. Alright. So, that means the hits: Shadow Rider, ×2. Sandaconda in its VMAX, Metagross, Tornadus, Blissey Avery, and Galarian Moltres V. So 9 hits in a box. We'll take 9 hits in a box. That doesn't happen all the time. It's not the most common of thing to go with. But we combine what we got there with what we got earlier with the Floored Avery, the Zapdos, the Brawly, and then the Urn of Vitality, Sandaconda, Blaziken V. I'm going to call these 2 boxes a pretty solid success. If for nothing else other than I got a Moltres V, which is good. The Zapdos is nice. The Shadow Riders are really nice. It's kind of a bummer I didn't get a Calyrex V because the VMAXs aren't too useful without the Vs. And then the Averys are cool. And then the Full Art Brawly. The Full Art supporters are always Full Art supporters. None of us are ever really sad to get them unless they're completely unplayable. Oh, the magic of live production. Anyway, that's going to do it for us for now. If you haven't already, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Twitch, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're on Facebook too, if you're not there already. As time moves forward, we will be doing more and more content as Pokemon gets back to normal, finally. Is right with the timing of the world, it would seem. For now, take care, still be safe. There's still disease out there trying to kill you. And just otherwise, be good to people. Take care.